Good evening. Today is Sunday, January 26, 2020. My name is Ricardo Sandoval. This video is for week 2 of Biology 230. Epithelial tissue, which is also known as epithelium, protects the body by forming a layer of cells that acts as a barrier between internal and external environments. Epithelial tissues cover and protect surfaces that are exposed to the internal or external environment. Examples of epithelial tissues include the skin and the lining of the respiratory tract. Epithelial tissue may also line cavities, vessels, or glands. All epithelial cells are connected to one another and to the underlying tissues by a matrix called the basal lamina or basement membrane. Protein filaments of the basement membrane anchor the epithelial cells to underlying tissues. Epithelial tissues have two types of junctions. One is a leaky junction, and as the name sounds, a leaky junction allows fluid or substances to pass through, as in between the cells of a capillary, or a tight junction, wherein nothing can pass through, as in the lining of the digestive tract, where we want to keep out dangerous acids like hydrochloric acid. There is connective tissue. Connective tissue provides support for internal and external organs. Connective tissue is characterized by its extensive extracellular matrix, which consists of water, proteoglycans, and protein fibers. Connective tissue may be described as fixed if it doesn't move, or mobile if it flows around the body. Most connective tissues are fixed. Connective tissues are found in bones and tendons. Connective tissue is also known as adipose tissue or plain old fat, which serves to provide padding. Adipose tissue is divided into white tissue and brown tissue, where adults have mostly white fat, and brown adipose tissue is known as baby fat, as it is more common in infants. Muscle tissue is excitable, it's ready to do something. It responds to stimulation and contracting to provide movement and occurs in three major types: skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscle is attached to bones, and its contraction makes it possible for locomotion, movement forward, facial expressions, posture, and other voluntary movements of the body. Skeletal muscle makes up 40% of body mass. Smooth muscle tissue contraction is responsible for involuntary movements in the internal organs. It forms the contractile, or the part that contracts, components of the digestive, urinary, and reproductive systems, as well as the airways or arteries. So in the urinary system, we have the bladder, of course, that has a sphincter which contracts to hold in urine and relaxes to release urine. So this smooth muscle helps the sphincter in the bladder, the urinary bladder, contract. And lastly, cardiac muscle. It forms the contractile, again, the parts that beats the contract walls of the heart, what keeps us alive, what keeps the heart beating. The last type of tissue is nervous tissue, which is also excitable, allowing for the propagation or generation of electrochemical signals in the form of nerve impulses that communicate between different regions of the body. Nervous tissues include neurons that transmit information from one portion of the body to another. Neurons stimulate muscle cells to move and are the main cells of the central nervous system where they're found. The central nervous system is made up of the brain and the spinal cord. Thank you.